Tēnā katoa koutou, tēnā tātou I roto I tēnei pō. Kia ora everybody, it's Jay Wilson here from Te Pai Pai Waho. Episode 3 of Ceremonies at Home for the 22nd of June.
Okay,
Turi son. Nā reira, e mihi kau atu ana, kia timata tātou ki tētei paku wāwāhinga karakia nei. Tēnei te ara kairunga, tēnei te ara e rangi, te ara o rangi rao, ko pape takuta nei, tēnei te pō nau mai te ao. Nau mai te ao, tēnei te pō, e tū te pō e tū nei. E tū te pō me ona ritanga, me ona āuatanga katoa, tēnei e mi atu nei, au mi e ui e tāi ki e. Tai ki e kia tātou, everybody. E mihi ana kia tātou, I roto I ngā huatanga o te wā, ngā pīkautanga o tēnā o tātou. Me te mātau tonu, e nui ngā kaupapa kei a tātou, e rongo oki ana I te ngau o te makariri, nā reira ko te tumanaku, e no o ana koutou I te umārire, I te māriretanga o koutou kāinga. So kia ora everybody, it's a bit of a cold night tonight. I just want to acknowledge everybody. As winter, we're starting to feel winter's pinch. But also, just want to apologise for last week. I was on the road doing my master's program and just got too busy. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just have to wait till next week. Anyway, we're up to episode 3 on ceremonies at home. And what I'll be covering tonight is gratitude and appreciation and how you clear yourself at different times of the year. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing I want to cover is Whakamoemiti. And as many will know, Whakamoemiti is used often in prayer. And there's a debate as to whether it's an old concept or an introduced concept. But either way, as I was raised, you had your evening karakia and you would stand up afterwards to do Whakamoemiti. Those in the Rātana faith, they generally don't use the word karakia, but they'll use the word Whakamoemiti. And they'll do their e-noise as part of the Whakamoemiti. And so people are slightly different. Whatever you do, just do it and do it well. The key thing, though, what I wanted to note is this whole idea of gratitude and appreciation and having it as part of your regular family lives. And so when our kids were young, we would karakia at night so that they would learn their karakia. And occasionally we will still karakia, but not as much as we did when they were little. But what we do now is after karakia, they would stand up and learn how to Whakamoemiti. And then we change that to them standing up, or each of us standing up and doing something like this. Sharing the highlight of the day, who they helped and what they're grateful for. Highlight, help, and grateful, in whichever order. And what that did is it taught our kids how to articulate themselves, number one, and especially their feelings, which then becomes a challenge later on in teenage years, because then they know how to articulate themselves when they're challenging you, which is a cool thing. And so we did that with the kids when they were growing up. We evolved as we moved back to Hamilton, and instead of having evening karakia, what we'll do now is whenever we are home all together, because we always eat at the table, We've created that as a habit, and no devices, no TV, no phone, where we talk to each other. And we will go round the table, and the kids will then share, as will we, our highlight, what we're grateful for, and who we helped. And I think the most important thing about that is whether it's after karakia or during dinner, whatever, is that you find a way, oh, kia ora, Rob, you find a way to put some gratitude and appreciation into your everyday life. And if you can't do it every day, then at least every week. And by doing that, what it does is it makes you feel good because you're sharing the good things in your life. But also, it can teach your children how to express themselves, how to share their feelings. And what I've learned is when you ask them how was school, they go, oh, yeah, it's good, yeah. Often one-word responses. But when you do this, when you have to say, and you have to participate, what you're grateful for, what your highlight of the day was, and who you helped, that teaches you to say more than one-word responses. So that's Whakamoemiti. And whether that's formalised through karakia, or whether it's done at dinner or some other time, it's a really good practice to have in your home to teach ourselves how to be grateful and how to express appreciation. Number one. Number two, there should be at least, based on the moon cycle, there should be at least one time in the month, in the lunar month, where you should be giving thanks in a more formalized, ritualized way. And some will say that's at different times, but as I've been guided, and then after talking to a couple of people who've all said the same response, the best time that I would do it would be at the end of the Rako Nui phase, and in particular Oike, because that day is a day of gratitude and appreciation. And I'd probably do it in the evening, because Oike will rise in the evening, night time. And so as that day finishes, or that period of the moon finishes, you're getting ready for the energy of Oike to come in, and so you give thanks. And however you give thanks, don't need to have words out of a book, but it's finding the karakia that work for you. And if you're wanting to do it as a family, you give everybody in your family a chance to say something, to add to the collective bowl of karakia before you can then do your Whakamoemiti afterwards. Because what it is it's teaching us to find a space and time to give thanks. Yes, some will do it every Sunday or every Friday or every Saturday, whatever beliefs you practice, but at a bare minimum, you should be doing it every lunar month, so that you are getting into some form of practice to be grateful, to be thankful, and to encourage more ceremony into the secular life that we live, where things have almost become very informal. And whatever your belief is, use those words. And so it's really important to do something at least once a month. And as I said, others will do it weekly, and some will also do it daily. And completely over to you, but it's about how you do it and the intention that you put into it. And the third and final point I want to cover for tonight is as part of gratitude and appreciation, if we don't let things go, it can build up and build up until you get some problems. And so at a bare minimum, every season, you should be finding ways to release anything that you know about, as well as the things you don't know about. And going through a ceremony to do that. And the ceremonies I do, as I've shared on here in the past, is I'll go to the water. And so if I'm at freshwater, then I'll go to the freshwater and we'll face downstream to release, to let go, to farewell all of the known troubles, challenges, problems, and all of the unknown problems, challenges, troubles. All those raru, and let them go, and then turn upstream, and because it's about returning to the source of life rather than upstream it might be polluted. It's not that. It's about acknowledging that you're calling on the source of life, because water represents life. And so you then turn upstream and asking for all of the blessings, strength and guidance for your season ahead. And if you're a coastal person, then the best time to do that is on an outgoing tide. You release on an outgoing tide. And the key thing there, whether it's saltwater or freshwater, is that what you're doing is you're trying to let go of the known and the unknown things that are affecting you, the seen and the unseen things that are affecting you, and you're doing it with intention. You're doing it so that you know that that this is right for you. The biggest challenge is that we create these Hollywood movies in our head. Oh no, I'm just too busy. Oh no, I'm just too busy. I'm telling you now, it can take between 2 and 5 minutes. That's as long as it can take. I just did one on Sunday in Christchurch. I was asked to go and do something and support somebody. So we went out. It was bloody freezing. Got into the water. Lovely. It was warm as, and you just wait for the rhythm of the waves to come in sets, and then you release on that set that goes out. And it took probably 4 minutes, and then it might have taken 10 minutes to get there and 10 minutes to get back. But when you're in the right frame of mind, you go there, you do it. You don't actually feel the cold, and in this case, it was cold day, but the water was warm as. And the thing is that what happens is it gives you a refresh and a recharge. And if you do that seasonally at a bare minimum, then that's 4 times in a year that you are clearing yourself, rejuvenating yourself, and pressing reset, number 1. Number 2, monthly, at least monthly in a lunar cycle, you're saying thank you to whatever you believe in. And then regularly, whether that's every night or a few times a week or once a week, you're sharing your highlight, what you're grateful for, and who you helped. And if you can get into those practices, those three practices, and ritualize those in your home so that it becomes normal, it can give you a whole heap of strength to be and shine in your greatness, to be and shine in the magic that you are. And when you do that, and when you work through that, it takes you to a really good place. What it also does is there are occasions when you need to clear more than seasonally, and it helps you become more aware of that. And so in doing that, that can help you to do the things that you need to do to be amazing, as well as help calm the farm and the Hollywood movies that we can each make up here in this noisy space. So those are 3 tips as part of this whole ceremonies at home, ritualizing things at home, to help you, to give you strength and guidance. Next week, I'm going to talk about matariki, because the following weekend we enter into matariki, and we'll talk about puanga and matariki, and hopefully we'll find some way to make some sense for that for you, because whatever your practices are your practices, and just sharing some more in the hope that it's helpful. So ka tiake, e mi I kau atu ana kia tātou, e tata ana rākau nui I roto I ngā pō te tū mai nei, o tino, e mi I kau atu ana, ke tau wakaerenga manaakitanga ki runga kia koutou, me te wakaere ake I e nei kupu, ki te tā uu nui, orangi nui e tū nei, au mi e, hui e, tā iki, pō marire.